Hello musicians, Bucky Dirtle here again with another video tutorial on VCV Rack. Now, VCV Rack, we have gone over a lot of different really cool modules that you can use with VCV Rack, open source modules. And today I'm going to be going over the grid sequencer. This is by JW Modules. Specifically, I'm going to go over a few topics in there, how we can set our set the notes we choose to not just be random frequencies, but to actually adhere to scales and modes and ragas and all kinds of other things. So that's one thing. Another thing we're going to talk about is how we can do directional changes within our grid sequencer. And the other thing is we're going to talk about our gating and how do we get a selection for ignore gate. But we'll talk about that as well shortly. Okay, let's get started. First of all, Grid Sequencer is a very, very cool sequencer. It has a lot of the same features as the Sequencer 3 that comes with Fundamental, and we've gone over a lot of Sequencer 3 in this series of tutorials already. Grid Sequencer offers a couple of different things. I'm going to go over some of the features, and there are other ones that I'm going to go over in another tutorial. So first of all, let's talk a little bit about the scales. We have in this, we have an ability to choose a key we want to be our root here down this dial, and we have the type of scale we want to choose, and there are quite a few: Aeolian, blues, chromatic, Lydian. There's a lot, and none, which means that we'll get random, just random sounds based on where we put our dials for every one of our squares in this grid. So let's put it on, I don't know, put it on major, I guess. Here we go, D major. Now, you have seen this sort of option already in a different JW module called Quantizer. It's this one here. Now, Quantizer does exactly the same thing, but it's in its own module. Now, if you wanted to, you could use this instead. You could set this to none. Oh, I'm on the wrong dial. You can set this one here to none and then go out to the quantizer and use that. But this one has it built in, so it might not be any point. If anybody does see a reason why you'd want to do that, let me know. I'd love to hear. Let's give this a shot and see how that works. I'm going to hit our clock. Let's change some of these. So you can see you can actually make melodies out of this. Let's see if we can make a little scale. Pretty close. You know, you can take some finesse. You could take some, have some finesse and you'd be able to do something really cool with that. So, and this is just the first 4 lines across the top here. So there you go. That's how we can do that. It's kind of the built-in quantizer as we see here as a standalone unit. I'm going to get rid of that one because we're not going to be using it for this tutorial. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the direction changes. Now, this is a grid sequencer. So the grid has lots of directions we can go, all kinds of directions. And there are some sequencers that offer all kinds of options in how you want the grid to work. This one's a little different in how it does it. This one, what it does, it allows you to change directions by putting in gate commands. So right now, the clock is beating at 175. And that is moving it in the direction to the right. Now, if I wanted to, I could move it in direction to the left by going to that one. Or I could go down with that one, or up with that one. So let's just continue to go to the left, to the right, and let's see what we get. I'm going to hit run. Now, so there you go. It's going across the top row. Now, let's go backwards. And let's go down. And up that same column. There you go. So you might say to yourself, okay, well, that seems very limiting. We're only going one at a time. It doesn't have to work like that. If I wanted to, I can take, in another tutorial, we talked about this clock here, okay? The simple clock. And these options here, these give us every fourth note, every fourth pulse, this one fires off. Every eighth pulse, this one fires off. Every 32nd, every 16th. So if I want to change direction to go maybe down a row, every fourth beat, I can go to that one. So every fourth, it'll jump down a row. Let's give it a shot and see. My clock. No, it's my run. Let me reset it. Start at the top. I'm going to turn all these. So you see every fourth one is jumping down a row. Or I can say every fourth one go up a row. Or I can say every fourth one change direction. Or I can go down and I can say every eighth one I want it to go other direction. So now it's working its way through. Very random, but we have control of it. It's not really random because we're controlling it. Anyway, so there you go. That's how you do that. It's a very cool little setup. I got to say, it's really nice. I like that. A lot of control. And if you think your way through the logistics of which direction you're going and how many steps between each direction, you can get some really interesting things out of that too. And you can take multiples off of these. So you can do it like that. So you might want to say every eighth, a couple of things happen. A couple of different things are triggered. Lots of options. Now, one of the things that I found with some other sequencers, like sequencer 3, for example, I found that, and this may be something that other people somebody may have a solution for this, but when I play, I'm going to turn this on. Do you hear there's a ghost note? And by the way, I'm sorry about my directions. You can use these as buttons. They can work as well. So you can go down. I can go down manually. I can go up manually. So you can hear there's a ghost note. When this one plays, I can hear it because it's selected anyway. That gate is on. But when this one is on, the gate is not selected. But I still hear the note. You can hear the note change. Now in sequencer 3, that's something I can't seem to get rid of. But here, with ignore gate for voltage octave out, when I deselect that, I don't hear anything during that place when the gate's off. I don't hear it. So now that works for me. I like that. And I like that a lot. But when in sequencer 3, that's a problem. So somebody here may have a solution for that. You may say, oh, well, Bucky, the reason why is because of retrigger or trigger or continuous or something. There may be a setting that you know of that I'm missing, but that works for here. In grid sequencer, that works. So there you go. That's something you can use. Okay, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We learned about how we can change our scales to all kinds of things here in our modes and ragas and all kinds of things. And we can change a key. We can also change the direction of anything in here in this grid in any way we want to go, sideways, up and down, that kind of thing. Very cool. And we also have that feature that gets rid of that noise, that ghost note. When there's a non-gated note, we can still hear the ghost note of it, but that gets rid of it. This deselecting ignore gate for voltage volts per octave out. So there you go, that fixed it for us. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions about this module or any other module, feel free to write in the comments. You can also get me on the utopian.io Discord and the PAL Discord and Steam chats. You can get me all kinds of places. So feel free to call me anytime you like, and I will do what I can to get answers or even just have a chat about your music. I'd love to hear about it. Thank you very much for joining us, and I will see you next time.